Alexa TV presents in 3, 2, 1. Dateline Schools with your host, Terry Harrington.
This week on Dateline Schools, have a unique perspective of looking at athletics in our area as they play a very important role in our community. We're not looking at the players and the strategy, but we're looking at the people who manage the games, the sports officials. And to tell us all about it this week, my special guest is a local official and also president of the Eastern Michigan Officials Association, Mark Brochu. And Mark, earlier this week you said you've been officiating now for about 40 years. How did you get involved with sports officiating?
Well, first and foremost, my father officiated high school football. So growing up, oftentimes I would get dragged to a football game while he's working the contest. My brother and I would be playing under the bleachers. So we're from a sports family, so we were always going to athletic contests, so I always saw it. And then I got into the Parks and Recreation business, and that's managing athletic contests. So it was just a natural progression from both my upbringing and my profession.
Do you find that for a lot of people that are in sports, it's because of their involvement or a parent or were recruited by somebody?
Yeah, I think there's got to be that personal interest, that passion in the specific sport. So that's very important. And then officiating is different. So to know somebody, a friend or family member that does it and can talk to you about it is a big plus as far as making a decision whether you want to try that too.
Do you find that most officials work in teams or crews, or do they just go out individually and they're assigned a game?
It depends on the sport. In football, it's usually done by crews. Basketball, oftentimes you have a partner for a lot of games, but not all games. Track, you're an independent contractor, so you are doing most track meets by yourself, and then only in bigger invitational meets are you working with other officials. Baseball, softball, I think same thing. You have a crewmate that you work a lot of games with, but not exclusive.
How do crews get assigned games, or do you get to pick and choose?
Each sport has an assigner. In the case of high school contests, it has to be approved by MHSAA. But usually the same people are also doing scheduling for the summer rec leagues anyway. So you need to contact them. Very few schools and leagues are doing their own scheduling anymore, and they go through an assigner, and that assigner handles all the scheduling of officials.
Quite a task.
Yes, it is, especially with weather cancellations, injuries to officials, so there's constantly changing for the assigner.
We'll be back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.